goddamn button. Press the goddamn button.
Would you like for people to know?
First, I want people to know that I'm still me. ALS has changed what my body can do, but it hasn't changed who I am.
In 2025, at the age of 39, Johnson was diagnosed with ALS, the disease progressing so rapidly that he now uses his eyes to trigger a speech-generating device to speak.
Why do you want to share this now?
Because if sharing my story helps even one person get diagnosed sooner, inspires more research, or gives another family hope, then it's worth it.
Johnson says he was in the prime of his life, working out daily and running errands with his 4 children until ALS changed everything.
Let's go back to last year. When did you notice that something was off?
I first noticed weakness in my right hand. At first, it was little things like my grip didn't feel right, and I wasn't as strong as I've always been.
His wife, Brittany, thought it was something much simpler.
Brittany, what did you think it was at the time?
I thought because of football and, his career, that it had to be something with that, maybe a pinched nerve or something along those lines, but never ALS.
And what did doctors tell you initially about your condition?
We hoped it was something else, but after thorough testing, they finally came down with a diagnosis of ALS. They told us about a medication that might extend life by a few months. Then they told us to get our affairs in order. It was hard hearing that. But
I want to say shout out to the wife. I want to say shout out to Johnson. For you to come into contact with something that just randomly hits people out of nowhere, take it on a chin, ever being used to having full function of your body, being a husband, being a parent, being on the field, being mobile in general. I know that this psychologically does something to a person that can't even be explained by an individual in general who still has full control over their autonomy. And I admire that, and I salute the wife for still being with you and by your side every step of the way. This is nothing easy to deal with, I can only imagine.
After watching Good Morning America and seeing Dr. Merritt with Eric Dane, we reached out to her. She was willing to think more creatively, offering experimental treatments that might help and advance research.
Dr. Merritt Sikovich is a neurologist and leading ALS researcher at Mass General Brigham Neuroscience Institute.
Chris has been on standard of care, which is about 3 different medications that slow down the illness, but he was also part of a clinical trial, a therapy that decreases inflammation, and I think that helped him a lot.
With no family history of ALS, doctors believe his is a case of sporadic ALS, the most common form of the disease, affecting about 90% of patients, occurring randomly in people with no known family history of ALS.
That's one of the reasons this disease can be so shocking. It can happen to someone who never expected it.
And for me, it's shocking. It's hard to process it for me because I know you, Chris, from just the incredible athlete that you are. How do you process it?
Honestly, I don't know if you ever fully process it. At first, you're in shock. Then you realize you have 2 choices. You can give up or you can fight.
What would you like for people?
Shout out to Chris Johnson, the family. With this particular video, it hits home because of how many people I've buried. And you watch somebody who is standing on both feet, cooking, cleaning, yelling, screaming, laughing, enjoying life in their fullness, and then you watch them slowly regress becoming a shell of them form themselves. Everybody does not have the same type of bounce back. And so if you have somebody in your circle that loves you to the point to where they motivate you daily, even when you're grievous to them, it don't come off that way, and they can still build you and lift you, and they don't abandon you the first chance they get because they can't handle the toll that what you're dealing with puts on them. Oh, that does so much justice. Glory and praise be to God for putting somebody like that in his life, for giving him that opportunity. I don't even look at this like his life is over with. I look at it like it's more of a testimony to the grace and mercy that God has shown many of us who still have full function of our limbs, and we go out here and we complain about every little thing that happens in life, when you could be in his position and it be worse, and you don't have no control. You have to rely on the hopes that somebody is going to look out for you when you can't get up, use the bathroom, or do too much of anything on your own. This is about humility. This is about being grateful for what you have. We're used to doing all of this, but what happens when you're in this position and you can't do any of it? Then you're not going to, you won't care about working 8 hours, 20 hours, 40 hours. You won't worry about bills and taxes and all that. Much love, much respect to them, though. I hope and pray the Lord continues to keep and bless y'all union,